I have 4 books on my TBR over 500 pages and 3 of them are over 700. Oh, that's really nice. Ooh. Oh my god. I'm gonna die. Guys. Hella big bag of wool. Hello everybody, happy new year and welcome to the first vlog of 2022. All the twos. I'm really struggling to say that as well, especially because when I don't enunciate it's 2022. But happy new year, I hope it's a great one for all of us. I suppose you guys are going to want to know what I'm going to be reading, which is a bit of a loaded question because I've already started 2 books this morning. I started off with the best of intentions, but I'm just hoping that I'm not starting the year as I mean to continue, because chaos has already ensued. I know already, I'm calling it now, that I'm going to fail my Bookaholic TBR this month. I'm not going to make it. Both of the books that I've started aren't on my Bookaholic TBR. One of them is on my January TBR, which is Dragon Haven by Robin Hobb. I'm not going to tell you too much about this one right now because I don't plan on prioritizing it, but I read the prologue today, so I'm 11 pages into this, and this is the book that we're currently working on. Oh, technically it's the November-December book, so I should have already finished it, but I normally read it in the month of the live show, and the live show for this is going to be the 23rd of January. So what I wanted to do was read some of the more dense books on my TBR and put like easier reads in between them to help me out this month, because I have 4 books on my TBR over 500 pages and 3 of them are over 700. So I'm screwed. But the reason why I'm no longer prioritizing Dragon Keeper is because when I was having dinner, a 700 page arc landed in my emails, and that arc is Beautiful Nightmares by KJ Sutton. So I got a message earlier from Kelsey asking if I once again wanted an e-copy of the latest installment in one of my favorite series ever. So of course I said yes, and of course I've dropped everything and started it immediately. I'm only in the prologue and I'm already scared. Thank you so much, Kelsey, as always, for sending me the books a little bit early. You know I appreciate it, although I may not be thanking you when I'm finished because I'm seriously terrified. But let's just wind it back a bit in case you guys don't know what Fortuna Swan is, or Beautiful Nightmares. Did I say Deadly Nightmares earlier? Beautiful Nightmares. Beautiful Nightmares is the 4th installment in the Fortuna Swan series, one of my favorite series ever. I read the first 2 books back in, I think, March last year, and then Deadly Dreams, I think, was released in December, so I read that one as well. It is an adult indie self-published fairy romance story following a girl called Fortuna who is a nightmare, and nightmares have the ability to sense people's fears and kind of turn them against them and make them believe that they're experiencing their worst nightmare. Fortuna's brother went missing, I think it's 1 year prior to the start of the series, and she cannot find a trace of him anywhere. He's her last remaining family member and she's distraught, but she's coming to the point where she feels like she has to give up hope on ever finding anything when a very powerful, very attractive, wonderful, glorious fairy male approaches her and says, I will help you find your brother because I know exactly where he is, and I will take you directly to him providing that you marry me. I love this series so much. Kelsey manipulates and destroys my emotions and I hate it, but I also love it because I love pain. So lots of trigger warnings in this series: sexual assault, like gore, little bit of slavery. I can't remember how frequently it's mentioned, but there is a little bit of like a slave market going on for a very brief period. I'm just looking here because I do know there's trigger warnings in this e-arc. Profanity, sexual harassment, branding, torture, hallucinations, death, sex, alcoholism, violence, gore, transphobia, murder, and demons. So yeah, that is a whole ton. Lots and lots of trigger warnings, but I'm scared. I'm scared. The ending of Deadly Dreams wasn't great in terms of my emotions, like in terms of it being a book, it was amazing. But in terms of how I feel about how things were left with certain characters, I'm not happy about it. I'm hoping for a little bit of resolution, a little bit of hope in this installment, but I'm also like not sure that Kelsey's gonna deliver that. She's already been saying to me that I'm gonna hate her when I finish, so it made me looking forward to 700 pages of pain. But yeah, that is what I'm currently reading. First day of the month, massive setback, but a welcome setback. I'm just so excited. Dude, can you get off there, please? I'm trying to take a photo. So I need to talk to you guys about Beautiful Nightmares because oh my god, I am obsessed. I feel like the font in this is small because it's taken me a long time to read it, even though it's not like dense or anything, and I typically read faster on ebook, but I'm like 247 pages into it, and I told you the basic plot earlier, but there's just like so much more to it than that. First off, this series has 3 love interests. One of them we can disregard because I don't even like, but the other 2, oh my god, because I don't even cut, like the 3rd love interest is like kind of outside of everything that's going on. The other 2 are more involved in the storyline, I want to say. I don't dislike love triangles. My problem with love triangles in general is that there tends to be one that you prefer and the other one like you just don't like at all, in my experience of reading love triangles. But not only is this done in a way where I adore both of the love interests for Fortuna that make the parts of this triangle, this is a true love triangle as well. So instead of having, like, you know, in the Hunger Games you have Katniss and you have Peter and Gale, and Katniss is interested in Peter and Gale are interested in Katniss, but they're not interested in each other. Like Peter and Gale aren't interested in each other. This is a true love triangle and I love it so much. But when I pick a love interest in a series, like I'm normally very loyal to that love interest. Sarah J Maas not counting, because she can really manipulate your emotions and completely change your mind. But to give you guys a little bit of non-spoilery backstory on these love interests, they are the kings of the Unseelie and the Seelie court. So Colith is the king of the Unseelie court and he is my preference. But Laurie in this book, honestly, oh my god, first off, he has massive like Howl vibes from Howl's Moving Castle, Nathaniel from Sorcery of Thorns, and also Magnus Bane from the Mortal Instruments. He has massive those vibes, whereas Colith is a bit more broody, which I think is probably why I prefer him. But in this book, I am losing my mind. He has me by the throat, I'm not even kidding. And if you're a Laurie fan, because I know there's quite a lot of you guys out there, you are gonna love Beautiful Nightmares. I am obsessed. I'm literally just, I can't get over how into Laurie I am in this book. I also think that this is the best installment in the series so far. I'm not sure whether that's because it's like 700 pages, so the pace in Fortuna Sworn in general as a series isn't overly fast, especially when you get to book 3, but I feel like book 3 is very slow. This one has a lot of things going on, a lot of plot, and the pacing I feel is perfect. So we've had a few action scenes, and even though some of the moments are quite slow, there's definitely still a lot happening, like enough happening that it's not like a ridiculously slow book. And I genuinely think that this is the best book in the series so far. Obviously I'm only a third of the way through it, so I can't say for sure, but I have very high hopes. And oh my god, after the struggle, like I've just made my best books of 2021 list because I had to send off the books, like the list, to somebody for something, which is very cryptic, I know, but I've just had to refine my best books, and I knew what the top 4 were, but I had no idea about anything else, because even though I've had I think 18 or 19 5-star reads in 2021, a lot of them were like Robin Hobb's. So I think I read 5 Robin Hobb books, 3 of which were 5 stars. I read at least 3 Brandon Sanderson books, so everything was kind of predictable from me. There wasn't a lot that was new that I read and really loved. And then an example is I gave Danny Brown and Chloe Brown 5 stars each, but I don't include books from the same series in my best books of the year list, so I had to pick a favorite between the 2. So imagine after this struggle, starting 2022 off with not only one of my most anticipated releases of the year, Beautiful Nightmares, newest installment in one of my favorite series, but a 5-star read that's going to be on my best books of the year list. Like, can you imagine? I have a big day of filming ahead of me, but I also have to take my car in for MOT. So I was going to come and talk to you guys a little bit later when I was ready for the day, but I'm just really curious because a parcel has just arrived for me, and it came in a box that was entirely covered in tape. It's really heavy. I've just taken it out of the box and I was going to open it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this on camera, because the box didn't have my full name on it. It had my name down as Becca, which tends to be how I know that I haven't ordered something. I literally have no idea what this is or who it's from. Oh, I think I know who this is from. I think these are from Zap, because she did say that my extra, she bought me the necklace that a lot of you guys have been complimenting with like the crystal mounting on it, and she said that something else would be coming, and oh my god, these are gorgeous. These are coasters, I want to say. They're real beautiful. And are they all the same or are they different? Let's have a look. Oh, they're all different. So this first one has a sun on it, and then we have a moon, and then the other two are also a sun and a moon. So thank you so much, Saf. These are absolutely gorgeous, real heavy as well. These are some industrial coasters. I was just about ready to film when my Amazon order arrived, which I think there should be a book in here. The other thing I've ordered, which is why the box is so big, is a couple of yoga blocks, which if you guys saw my Christmas unboxing, you saw that the lovely Linda sent me an Amazon gift card, and I've already spoken to Linda and told her what I bought with her lovely gift. I essentially picked up a couple of gym bits that I needed, so I got a foam roller and some yoga blocks. Oh my god, this book is enormous. Pretty. I got a blue and a purple, which is good because it's my yoga day today. So I will actually probably use those if I'm not flexible enough to get to where I need to be. But the book that I ordered is truly enormous, and it is Beautiful Nightmares by KJ Sutton. This is, like, I'm interested to see actually how big this is, because Kelsey told me when she sent me the ebook that it was 800 pages, but the ebook came up as 700. So let's look. Oh, it is. Wow, it is 700, but she did say that she had to make the font smaller. It's 715, and I shouldn't show you the last page, but the text is tiny. Oh my god. So I'm glad that this has arrived now, because I can mark where I'm up to in the physical copy. But I think I'm like 530-ish pages into it. I'm on page 538, so I have like 175 pages to get through, which I'm hoping I can do today. But above all, I'm just like, look at this chunky tome. First book of the year, a super chunky tome. I'm gonna be real proud of myself when I finish this one off. So I have another Amazon box. As you can tell, this is shaped like a bottle, and I 100% know that this is from Ash, who is one of my patrons, who was sending me alcohol all through Christmas. Honestly, I don't know how fast she thinks I can get through it, but I'm really excited to see what she sent me this time. And the reason she sent me this one is it will have passed by the time this vlog goes up, I think, so it's going to be a little bit of a longer one. But I'm doing a live show with Kelsey, Gavin and Ashley to celebrate the release of the book that I just finished. I'm going to talk about to you guys in a minute, which is Beautiful Nightmares, next Friday, which I think is Friday the 14th. So Ash asked me if it was going to be a drunk live show, and I said I'll probably have a drink, but it's not going to be like a full-scale drunk live show. Still, I really like these boxes from Amazon. I still don't think I know how to open them. Thank you very much, Ash, in advance. I'm just tearing it open again. And this time Ash has sent me another bottle of flavoured vodka, another bottle of Ciroc, and this one is, oh, pineapple flavoured. Do I have to do the test shot again? I never had pineapple vodka before. This is exciting. She's sending me all of the good stuff. Honestly, I'm gonna have the world's wildest well, I'm not, because I'm not an actual bar, but I'm gonna have a pretty solid collection of Ciroc at this rate. Oh my god. Okay. Oh wow, that could have gone terribly, horribly wrong. It doesn't smell especially fruity, this one. The red, oh, there it is. I smell it. Okay. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, oh my god. Oh, I was not prepared for a shot right now. The pineapple flavor is really strong, and then you swallow it and it's like pure vodka. But I'll make myself a glass of this for the live show. So thank you very much, my love. And so as I just mentioned, I have finished Beautiful Nightmares. It feels like it took me forever to finish this today, because I went to bed last night with 40 pages left. And I hated myself for it, because normally if I'm that close, I will just finish it out. But it was like 1 AM. I was real tired, and I knew that I wanted to be up early today for a full day of editing, which I did. I managed to get through that. I edited, uploaded and scheduled 3 videos in 6 hours, which I'm real proud of myself for. So I gave this 5 stars. I think that this is the best installment in this series so far. As I said the other day, I think it might be something to do with the pacing. My one kind of critique of Restless Slumber is that it had just too much going on, and it could have like lost a plot line. Because of the size of this, all of the plot lines that are in here have space, and I really liked how this was a very plot heavy installment in this series. There is romance in this one, there's a whole ton of smut in it, but I would say that the plot and the advancement of the plot is definitely taking the forefront. I don't have all of the answers to the questions that I have yet about this series, but the direction that it's going in is like, I can see the end game of this series now, which is wild. We still have 2 books to go, and I'm so excited because I really like the direction that this is going in. I like how, like, I knew that Kelsey had plotted this ahead, like she knew where the series was going to end and like the key points, and I like seeing them come to fruition. I loved Laurie in this one. I mean, I loved Laurie anyway, but if you're a fan of Laurie, this is definitely your book. My boy, my little sad boy Collar, I'm hoping good things for him for the future, shall we say. Really enjoyed this one. A 700-page behemoth that I was not anticipating reading as my first book of 2022. But let me tell you, I feel so accomplished that my first book of 2022 is such a chunky tome, and I just knocked it out. And like, it's the 6th, but 5 days, because I started it on the evening of the 1st. So if we go 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd, 3rd to 4th, 4th to 5th, 5th to 6th, 5 days. Feeling real accomplished. Content warnings throughout this series. I mean, I did cover them all at the beginning. Kelsey, I know, has added all of the content warnings pages to all of the books now, but a lot of torture in this one that's quite harrowing to read, and also some sexual assault, as well as generally like a lot of blood, death, gore, guts, all that kind of thing. And what I liked about this is that it wasn't traumatic like the past 2 installments have been. They've ended on really impactful moments of high emotion that are actually quite upsetting, whereas this one went for a more dramatic twist, which I really appreciated. I feel like the 5th book, because it's going into the last book, is gonna be one of those traumatic endings, but I was glad because I just couldn't do another one right now after how Deadly Dreams ended, and knowing that book 5 is probably going to be massive and take Kelsey a while to write as well. I couldn't have traumatic endings, so I'm glad that it went for drama over trauma. So yeah, that wasn't on my TBR, that was a last minute addition. I'm now very behind on the books that I actually should be reading this month. So I'm gonna backtrack and go back to the book that I started on the 1st before Kelsey sent me Beautiful Nightmares, which is Dragon Haven by Robin Hobb. So this is the 2nd book in the 4th series in the realm of the Eldlings. The live show for this I think is going to be on the 23rd. I need to double check with everyone, but I'm pretty sure we're going to do the 23rd. And I can't tell you a whole ton about this because a lot of what happens in this book hinges off the plot of the live ship traders, but this is an adult epic fantasy. It's multi-perspective, and to give you the basics without too much information, it's about a group of dragons that a community of humans said they would look after. However, as the dragons are getting older, they're getting more boisterous, creating disturbances, and they're also getting very restless, so they don't want to be there anymore and the humans no longer want to look after them. So the community that these dragons are in put together a group of people that they call dragon keepers, who are essentially people that they don't really want in the community. Like, they don't have anybody who cares for them, or they're not really contributing to society. Those people become the dragon keepers, and they then are responsible for the dragons as they all move to a new location. Lots about disability in this series, well, in the first book, and I think it is going to be a recurring theme throughout the series. And Robin Hobb really portrays like all kind of angles when she deals with societal topics, and I really like that she does that, because I feel like it creates, even though it's not always pleasant, it creates a more realistic view of a typical society. So there is content warnings in here for ableism as well. Really hoping this is going to be a 5-star for me, because there's been publishing issues in this series. I can't remember if it was supposed to be a duology or a trilogy, but essentially it ended up being a 4-book series, and the first book was supposed to be with this book as one whole book. So book 1 in this series is pretty much just the first half of this, and this is the second half. So I really liked the first book and I thought it had 5-star potential, but it has a very slow pace throughout because it's set up an introduction to a new series, and it has an incredibly anticlimactic ending because it's not the end of a book. The end of this is supposed to be the end of the book. So I have real high hopes for this, because I'm a little bit worried that the publishing issues and the way that these books haven't been published as Robin Hobb would have liked them to be, I'm worried that that's going to impact my enjoyment. And the area of the world, like the Live Ship Traders Ringwald Chronicles books, are my favorite. Like, I prefer them to the Fitz books, so I'm really hoping I get at least one 5-star out of this series. I'm really excited to dive in. I am just going to continue from the 12-page mark. I know, not much of a head start, but yeah, I'll just carry on from the 12 pages that I read at the beginning of the month. Such a sweet baby.
It's looking at the camera.
I'm gonna die. A little baby.
Camera.
You know, when you go and
Loves
beat
it.
them, you could have got some puppy shampoo and...
Oh, I didn't know if you needed any. I looked at the stuff that they had. Can bring you some next week if you need some. They've got it all at B&M.
Sponsor.
If you need to care for your puppy, they have it all at B&M. But not the puppy. You're such a little precious. You've had enough now. Guys, they just ran at me. Yeah. Hello. Hello. I just went upstairs to take my jewellery and my makeup off and everything to work out, and I realised that I should probably check in with you guys. It feels like it's been a while. Realistically, I don't think, in terms of like active reading days on this, it hasn't been too long, but I did break for the 24-hour readathon that I did over the weekend that I made a separate vlog for. Just want to clarify before I talk about the book that those puppies from the last few clips are not my puppies. I really wish they were, honestly. My dad went and got two Rottweiler puppies on Sunday, so when he texted me, it was in the middle of the 24-hour readathon, so I couldn't go around. I couldn't concentrate for an hour on my book during the readathon because my dad got puppies. They're 8 weeks old as well, so they're just, oh, they're delicious. And I grew up with Rottweilers. I adore Rottweilers with every fibre of my being. One of my favourite breeds. I don't know if I've mentioned it at any point, but we're going to be getting a puppy this year. Towards the middle of the year, it's going to be like around my birthday, I think. Obviously you can't plan a puppy to be born exactly around the time that I was born so that we can have one for my birthday, but it will be beginning to middle of April that we start looking, and then when we find one that we fall in love with, then we will have a puppy. And I'm dead set on a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and I have been for so long since we moved out, and I was like, I'm getting a puppy at some point. I've wanted a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and now I'm reminded of how much I love Rottweilers, and I'm really torn because obviously they're big dogs, and I do have experience with them, having grown up with them. I think for the first 19 years of my life we had Rottweilers, maybe a bit longer, but I've also got experience. I don't know, I'm so torn. But Dragon Haven by Robin Hobb, I'm just over halfway through this now. I'm on page 316 and it's slow. It is slow. Some of it I'm not like the chapter 2. I don't know what it was about chapter 2, but I struggled through that. I'm actually a little bit confused at the minute because multiple people said to me that this is like the YA series in the realm of the Eldlings, and like so far just in this book there's been like graphic mentions of like animal abuse, sad animal stuff, like really emotionally manipulative animal stuff. Also, if you can hear that, that's Curtis taking the bins out, but also mention a sexual assault in here, and I'm not understanding why people are like saying that this is YA, because I just don't, it's not really any different than any of the other books in the realm of the Eldlings. So I'm confused about that. I want to say it's picking up, but it's not picking up. The only thing that's like really not bothering me too much about the pace of this is that I really like Robin Hobb, and I find her writing really comforting now because I'm so used to it, and it's just like the familiarity of returning to a world that I'm already familiar with and meeting more characters, seeing old characters that I already love and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's really slow. I mean, I do still have 270 pages left of it. I wanted this done by Friday. It's now Tuesday and I'm not going to finish it today either, so I have a ways to go, and I'm not enjoying it. I have just put eyeliner on it though. It's just proven to be quite slow, which is why I haven't come and spoken about it. I will say that who's my favorite character in here? Cedric is growing on me, and I'm also starting to enjoy some of the dragons, like not the more prominent ones, the ones that are only like coming forward, becoming more confident in this book. And I feel like a lot of the little tidbits that have been mentioned in here are proving some of our theories from the Eldling Along live shows correct, or like heading in that direction, which is a little bit exciting because I just don't have much on it. It's just so slow. It's just more of the same of the last book, apart from like more relationships are developing and stuff, I guess. But yeah, so that's where I'm up to. That's why I haven't spoken to you guys for a while, because I'm just kind of plodded. Well, there was the 24-hour readathon, but I'm just kind of plodding along throughout that, and nothing really of note is happening. So now I'm gonna go take my jewelry and my makeup off, and I'm gonna work out, and then I have the Buffy watch along at 8, and then after that I will read as much of this as I can before bed. So I'm on page 423-ish of Dragonhaven right now, but it's my Patreon sprint night tonight and we just rolled a double, so I need to switch books. And my plan for my TBR this month was to kind of swap between the more dense fantasy on my TBR and the lighter reads on my TBR to kind of keep my pace up, but I've done a fuck up. I went on to NetGalley today because I realized that I hadn't downloaded The Monarchs, which was going to be my next read because it's one of those more light books on my TBR, only to realize that it was archived yesterday. So I've ordered the hardback, but it obviously hasn't arrived yet because I only ordered it a couple of hours ago actually. So I'm going to be going with The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. This is the first book in the Dreamblood series. Adult high fantasy. I think it's high fantasy anyway. I have the first book in the Broken Earth series by N.K. Jemisin. I have this, and I also have The City We Became, and I haven't read anything yet. I don't know what to expect. I believe that this one is quite dense to start off with, but it eases up quite quickly, and it is only duology, with both of the books only being about 400 pages. The only thing I know about this at this moment is that the magic system is centered on dreams, and people harvest dream energy and then use it for different things. So I'm going to be cracking this one open now, then obviously when I get a little ways into it I'll let you know a little bit more about the plot. A lot of exciting parcels have arrived. The first one is The Monarchs by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. I mean, realistically now that this has arrived, because I only got to page 17 of The Killing Moon last night, I could start this instead of continuing on with The Killing Moon, but seeing as I've already made a start on The Killing Moon, I may as well continue with that. I did only make it 17 pages, as I just said, but there was a very weird, like, there's interludes in it, and the first interlude was after the first chapter, and it was like a creation story that involved the sun being angry that one of the moons wouldn't sleep with him, and throwing himself down to the earth and like ejaculating onto the moon. And that's how the earth was made. So I'm having a fun time with that one so far. This one is it's like noodle in terms of the ages of the characters because it's set in a sorority, but there's nothing in this that says that like it's not young adult aside from the ages of the characters. So I'm going to be reading that after The Killing Moon, so beginning of next week if all goes to plan. But my super exciting parcel, which probably it depends whether this is as exciting for you guys as it is for me, but I ordered more wool and I'm about to start a new knitting project, which I mean I haven't finished the other one that I started a couple of weeks ago, but I'm nearly done with that. I only have the 2 sleeves to make. I've made the 2 front panels and the back panel on it. Oh, this is a hella hella big bag of wool. So I ordered from Wool and the Gang again because they had a 40% off sale. They added Crazy Sexy Wool to the sale. So Andy from Mouse Reads crochets, and they were making a mood blanket, and they decided to scrap it and had the best idea. So I'm completely stealing this idea from Andy, literally not me. But they're now making a genre blanket, and they are crocheting a row for every book that they read in the year. And I was like, oh my god, because I'm not very good, like my planner does it have mood tracking in it? And I've seen people make like weather blankets and weather scarves before, which is one of those things where like if I forgot what the weather was yesterday, I'd struggle to be able to complete that, because I don't expect to keep on top of this 100%. But genres I can do, because even if I miss, like even if I read 5 books and don't do any knitting, I can go back and just check my spreadsheet. So I got 6 different colours to start me off. I am going to combine some genres. I think I also picked up a new, because I have a lot of knitting needles, but they're all like normal size knitting needles, not chunky. So I picked up a 25mm circular one for this as well, because I think my other circulars that are chunky are like 15. That is such a pretty colour. I didn't realise it was marbled. That's beautiful. I may save that for something else actually. But I'm making this for my bedroom because I've said that you guys need to hold me accountable to actually do my bedroom this year and sort it out. So the main colour in my bedroom is going to be green, like a foresty green, with the walls are going to be white, and the accents and the soft furnishings are going to be green. And then any blankets, because like if my bedding's green, I don't want then a green throw over the top. So I was thinking for my accents, they're probably going to be like a spicy orange, just like a little pop of spicy orange. So I'm combining some of the genres because there's quite a few genres that I read from, and I feel like it's wasteful to buy like one ball of wool for like maybe 2 rows of this blanket. So we got 6 in total. The main 3 are going to be these ones. So fantasy, I think, is going to be Sand Trooper Beige. Fantasy, romance and paranormal are going to be the heritage green, because I didn't want the bulk of it to be green, but I wanted it to be quite a prominent colour in there. And then these may change as well, but this is what I'm thinking so far. I'm thinking the cinnamon dust, which I think is my favourite colour I've got, is going to be romance and contemporary. And then sci-fi and dystopian, I don't know whether to go with the Marjo red or what's this one, brown sugar. For that, they look really good together. And then I also have mineral pink as well, which I didn't realise when I ordered it has all of these cool pastel-y tones in. So it actually doesn't fit with these as well as I thought, so I'm glad, because this was going to be the base. And then I decided to pick up a beige, so I'm glad I decided to do that. But yeah, sci-fi, dystopian, maybe red. And then this would be maybe like horror, thriller and mystery, because I don't read very many of those. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I should do the brown one as sci-fi and the red as horror, thriller and mystery, and then maybe use the pink for everything else. Like when we get to horror, thriller and mystery, it's already genres that I don't read a lot of, so there's not going to be much in the everything else category. I'm so excited to start. I think I might start tonight because I don't have anything on tonight after dinner and working out. I'm going to be finishing Dragon Haven tonight. I only have 50 pages left of that, and I'll be reading some more of The Killing Moon, but I don't have any live shows or anything, so I'm gonna crack on. Oh my god. So I'm gonna crack on with some knitting and knit my first 3 rows, which will be 2 rows of this one and 1 row of this one, I think. And then when I finish Dragon Haven, I can put a row of beige in. I'm so excited. Good morning, guys. I'm just dragging my feet essentially because I'm about to make my first batch of candles for 2022. I'm not quite ready to start up with that again. I think I'm going to take it slow. At the minute, you guys will know by the time that this goes up, but I'm making pull-a-thon candles, so I think my next 2 drops are just going to be pull-a-thon candles, and I'll put up like the rest of the stuff that I've still got left from December, and I'll get back into it in February properly. I want to do some new product launches, but I haven't done any work on anything relating to candles since December, so I need some time to actually pull that stuff together, which I might use the rest of January for. But last night I finished Dragon Haven by Robin Hobb, and miracles are happening in 2022 already, because this is my 3rd 5-star read of the year. Can you believe it? I will acknowledge that the beginning of this, or like the first half of it, was super slow. There's essentially one plot line in here that I just don't care about, and that is who Thymara is sleeping with. Like, literally don't care if she sleeps with anyone, if she sleeps with no one. No interest in that plot line at all, and it had quite a bit of page space in here, especially in the slow moments, because as I said with this series. The only thing I can really tell you is that there's a group of humans moving a group of dragons to a different location because everybody's kind of fed up with the situation they're in. So a whole lot of it is traveling, and while there are things happening in the traveling, like it's a slow progress. A lot of the changes going on are happening very, very slowly across this period of time that they're traveling. So the only things really going on are the dynamics between the groups that are together. It's not necessarily a small cast in here. There's probably a cast of about 20 characters, with some of them being prominent and some of them being there just to like fill out the groups. But in terms of like a society of isolated people, it's a small group of people. So the politics and the dynamics of that group are very present in here. We have like 20 people and about 10 dragons, I think. In the series, we also have the perspective of one of the dragons, so we get a little bit of the dynamics with the dragon group and the politics as well. But like, Robin Hobb is just real good at character growth, and while it is a slow build through the majority of the books that she writes, I generally find the payoff to be worth it, and I really like the end of this. I nearly cried at the end of this, and for once with Robin Hobb, it wasn't because it was sad. It was one of those moments of like happiness, and I'm just really happy with where this left off. In terms of conflict in this series, I would actually be happy if this was it for the Rainwild Chronicles and we revisited this situation in like a different series or a little bit later on, because I just don't want any more conflict because it ended on such like a nice note, and I know that I'm probably really gonna end up going through it with the last 2 books in this series. They are a little bit shorter though. We're doing them 1 a month for Elderling long because they're both under 500 pages. Still just really confused why people consider this book to be young adult, or why I've had multiple people say it's like the young adult series in the realm of the Elderlings, because it does have those content warnings. Like I said, there's sexual assault, there's abusive relationships, abusive marital relationships, because obviously I'm not saying that young adults should be all sunshine and roses and shouldn't deal with difficult topics. It's just I feel like the topics dealt with in here are very adult topics, in that a lot of them are related to adult issues that young adults wouldn't really care about. Like, I struggle to care about marital issues, and there's a marriage in here that's extremely relevant to what's going on and forms the basis of a lot of internal conflict for some of the characters and a little bit of those group dynamics. There was actually a bit in here early on related to like sad animal stuff. I'm just going to content warning this for sad animal stuff and all of Robin Hobb, because not all of it is abuse. Sometimes it can be like injury, survival things going on, but just generally, if you are sensitive to things, bad things happening to animals, then just be cautious with Robin Hobb. There was a bit early on in here that I had to spoil myself for, because we left it in a place where I wasn't sure whether the outcome of the situation was going to be good or bad. So I went onto the Elderlings wiki and searched a certain character to see if what was going on with them extended past this point that I was at, just so that I could know whether the outcome of the situation was going to be terrible. Because with this being multi-perspective, after that character's perspective, it skipped to someone else who was somewhere else, so I didn't get an ultimate resolution, and I was just about to go to sleep and I was like, I can't do this, I need to spoil this for myself. So be warned of stuff like that going in. But as usual, Robin Hobb has excellent character development. I love how the world has developed so much from at the beginning of the Realm of the Elderlings with Fitz's story, where the magic is something that nobody really knows anything about. It's just something that some people have and not even very many people, and it's evolved to this place where I have the perspective of a dragon in this book, and I really love it. I love extended universes just in general, especially when they all have knock-on effects on each other like this, and there's a lot of intricacy in there, which kudos to Robin Hobb, because she didn't intend the Realm of the Elderlings to be as expansive as it is when she started, I'm pretty sure. I don't know whether she had like a long-term goal like in the back of her mind, but the end of every series feels very final, especially the Fitz books. So kudos for her to keep adding onto things she's already built and making it kind of seem intentional, although I am a little bit concerned in terms of like, is the final book that's published now going to feel like a final book? Because there's always going to be things that are slightly left unresolved if she can continue to link these series together and develop things in a way that's believable and doesn't seem like she's just come back and thrown some conflicts together for the sake of actually being able to write a new series. This was not on my Bookopoly TBR, so at the minute I'm 2 Bookopoly books down, 1 review copy, 1 book club book down for the month. I still have 5 books on my TBR plus the series in a week vlog that I'm going to be doing at some point, so we still have a long way to go, but I'm happy with my progress this month so far. I have decided that I'm going to be continuing with the Killing Moon as well. I can't tell you anything about that right now. I think I'm 35 pages into it, so not very far, and it's multi-perspective, and I've read 3 chapters, 1 each from the perspective of a different character, so I don't even know like the scope of the cast of characters right now. And it's one of those books that just like throws you into a new fantasy world, and you have all this terminology and you just kind of have to pick it up and roll with it as the book goes along. and I'm not at a point where I can grasp anything, especially because we're shifting perspectives. We're seeing people from different cultures and people who have different jobs, and I don't know what any of it means right now, but when I do, I'll let you know. But I'm gonna stop procrastinating and make some candles so it's done and I can move on with my day.
Gathered by the sea, sand people anxiously. Not once did speak to me. When tides came, did not flee. They each spoke the same, had the same dreams, same pain and same feelings. Staring at the sea and what was left of me.
Good afternoon. I am in bed. It's 3 p.m. and I've had to work today. I woke up feeling a bit anxious because I'm reopening tonight and I have a couple of days off next week because I have plans. So it's just a little bit stressed about having to reopen and also trying to keep on top of stuff and taking days off next week, which really, I don't need that stress when I've just made my goals video where I'm like, I'm gonna have a better work-life balance, and I'm already stressed and I haven't even opened yet. But I woke up feeling a bit anxious, but generally okay. And then I've been feeling a bit meh. I've got some hormonal things going on, but so that has been contributing to my general just mehness for most of this week. But now I'm like actually genuinely feeling a little bit unwell, and I don't know why. I had a couple of drinks last night when I did the live show with Kelsey, Gavin and Ashley, but this isn't a hangover. Like, I know what a hangover feels like, and this is not it. So I'm hoping that I'm not actually unwell and it's just like a little bit of a off day, because it's Curtis's birthday tomorrow. We're supposed to be going out for dinner in the evening, and in the daytime obviously like we're going to be spending time together because it's his birthday. So I really would like to not feel like this tomorrow. So I've decided to cut my, well, not cut my work day short. I said that I was going to work till 3 because I didn't want to do a full day on a weekend, and I've ended up in bed because I'm feeling unwell, and I'm going to try and read through some of this. I am only on page 74, but Kelsey, Gavin, Ashley and I stayed on quite late after the live show last night, so I didn't get much reading done. I'm still not at a point where I can really tell you anything about this. I am hoping to get to that point soon though. But yeah, essentially I feel like a bag of dicks, and I'm going to take the opportunity to read. Curtis is out today as well. I'm fending for myself. He's only going to be home at like 7:30. He left at 10 a.m. this morning, so it's not a good time to be ill. I need somebody to wait on me hand and foot, and I feel bad because Hamilton is obviously going to now spend the day alone because he's not allowed into the bedroom. It's the only room in the house that he's not allowed into, but I really just need to be warm and comfortable right now. Fingers crossed I'll feel better tomorrow. Happy birthday, Curtis.
Thanks.
Have you had a nice birthday?
Yeah.
What was your
Okay.
favourite part?
When you fell asleep on me.
That was good for me as well. I enjoyed that
You
as
kept
well.
saying it wasn't for you.
How old are you today?
20 something.
22. I like him young. No, he's 28. 28 today is finally on my
However
level.
old I look.
However old you look. What do you
Oh
think?
god. No pap.
But we're gonna go get some Thai food. What are you ordering, do you know?
Probably.
Probably pad Thai.
What? Yeah. That.
I have been reading today. I'm up to page 205 of my book, but sadly I don't think I'm going to finish it today. So that's a problem. I don't know what else to say.
Lay me down by the beach with my sand people.
Hello, so we just got back from the Thai and it was real good. I love that Thai. It's such a good Thai restaurant. It's just we don't go very often because it's in the town over from us. But I am so full of food right now. But I wanted to take this opportunity before I get too tired later on to just wrap up this vlog, because I'm not going to finish this book today. I have read quite a bit today. I think I've read a good 80-90 pages, which considering I've been doing stuff with Curtis all day. We watched Don't Look Up, which, oh my god, if you haven't watched that yet, such a good film, but I think I'm going to be depressed about it forever. Cried a lot throughout it, but it was real good. But I have been reading a little bit throughout the day, but it's not happening. I've got like 220 pages left. I'm not finishing my Bookopoly TBR, and if I am, then there's something else that I'm gonna not finish, because I'm gonna have a very, very busy week next week, as you will see then. But I will tell you a little bit about this because I've been putting it off for so long. The way that this book starts is that it just kind of like throws you in and you learn all of the terminology and stuff as you're going along. And I still don't really know where the plot is leading up to, but we have 3 perspectives in here. One is a gatherer, and gatherers are people who, they essentially kill people, but they're not killers. They do kill them, but they're gathering the dream magic to use in healing and like in the name of their goddess and stuff. So it's like not classed as like murdering people or anything. It's just part of the culture and religion. We follow a young boy who is the gatherer's apprentice. Still don't really understand what the structure is in here. I think they have a country and or like a religion and 3 different practices, or like a country and 3 different cultures within it or something. But the female character that we follow is not part of the same culture, or I guess it's a religion that the gatherer is from, so she doesn't believe in the whole gathering of dream energy. She does consider it to be murder, and it's very political. It's not very compelling at the minute. I do really like the writing though. I'm finding the writing really atmospheric and comforting in a way that I find like Robin Hobbin, that I just really like reading it. But the majority of this book so far, and I'm 200 pages in, has been dialogue because of all of the fantasy terminology and you just being thrown in and not really knowing what's going in the beginning. I was and I am struggling to follow it quite a bit, and then it's just politics and dialogue. But I am only halfway through, so it may pick up towards the end. I don't particularly like any of the characters or anything at this point, but essentially there's people dying, and they're dying with like horror on their faces. And the way that these gatherers kill people is that they kind of send them into peaceful dreams for eternity. So it's like a barbaric way of killing in the same manner, but sending them to like a nightmare realm instead of the dream realm. So the woman who's not from the same religion as the 2 male main characters is shown people who've died in this manner, and she's trying to get to the bottom of it to take to her religion, culture, country, like whatever thing it is, and tell like the authorities there, which will possibly start a war between the 2 cultures, religions, countries. Can you tell I'm struggling? And then when the kind of corrupt people within the communities that believe in the dream killing things find out that that's what she wants to do, they send the gatherers for her. But the gatherers themselves believe in the peaceful nature of what they're doing and like the ethos behind what they're doing. So when they find out about these people that are being sent to the nightmare realm, they are also quite curious about what's going on, because they know of nothing like this, and everyone's kind of trying to get to the bottom of how these people are dying. So yeah, it's just slow, super political, a lot to wrap my head around right now. But in terms of reading it, text is pretty big, the chapters are pretty small. It's not really making me want to keep picking it up at this minute. And I'm reading this for Aaron from Booked and Busy's book club, the Busy Bee book club, and our live show for this I think is going to be on the 29th of January, so stay tuned if you're interested in my thoughts. And also stay tuned for next week's vlog when I will be wrapping that one up. I'm still hoping to, fingers crossed, finish it tomorrow, but I'm out and about quite a bit next week, so we'll see how much reading I get done, because I have to work a lot so that I can be out and about. And it's just I'm feeling quite stressed about it, but I'm also trying not to think about it because it's not happening right now. Just before I wrap up as well, I'm feeling a lot better than I did yesterday. I did another COVID test, so I definitely don't have COVID, but I don't have any real symptoms or anything. I just feel like kind of tired, kind of headachy. Yesterday I was feeling quite nauseous. Today I'm just not feeling 100%, but I'm not ill or anything, so it's real weird. I don't know what's going on there, but fingers crossed it clears up soon, because like I said, I'm out and about next week and I would like to be well. But that is it for this week's reading vlog, guys. Thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it if you've made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go when nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.